These days, we are more connected than ever, right, with the internet. Yet so many of us are struggling with isolation, loneliness, and the problem's even worse for older adults.
Now, the bustle of the holiday season is over. Families are getting back into a routine, and sadly, the seniors are often left to themselves, craving those connections. We can help engage those we love. We've got Tracy White on the far end, Alicia Jackson. They are both from Right at Home Kalamazoo, here to show us how connecting can really benefit us all, ladies. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
having us.
Yeah, so let's talk about how big of a problem this is, senior isolation in our communities.
Absolutely. So during the holidays, it tends to be a lot worse. We have the hustle and bustle of all the holidays going on. Family members are in town, getting more phone calls, and then holidays end. And what happens is they kind of get left. And they're used to having all that connection there for that little bit. And then we have lovely Michigan weather, which helps them stay inside more, so they're not getting out and about to see anybody.
Alicia, I think you just reminded me to call my mother. All right, thank you for that.
Absolutely,
I appreciate that.
absolutely.
Because you're right, we did talk a lot more over the holidays, and she was January, the calendar flipped and it fell off a cliff, right? We're just not.
Right.
So what are the signs? Let's say someone is alone right now, and maybe they're depressed, and what are the signs of someone who might be struggling through this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one sign is they become
Less talkative.
yes,
Very tired. You can see changes in their eating habits as well.
Sure.
There's just lots of things that you can look for to pay attention that loved one is kind of going into depression, even if they're calling you and all of a sudden you're not getting that regular phone call that you normally would get. Is because something has kind of changed there.
Absolutely. And so what can we do besides reaching out, visiting? You know, obviously we all have things going on. There are different things that we can maybe get a senior involved in to help occupy their time, to help get them connections, you know, beyond the family. How do we approach that?
Okay, well, at our library in Kalamazoo, they have arts and crafts and different activities for them to be volunteer there, do those types of things. Also at the hospital, you could volunteer your services. They always need volunteers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So then right at home, I mean, our services help with just companionship care. So if they're at home alone and family members can't get in there all the time, we can send one of our phenomenal caregivers in, and they can, you know, do that companionship with them. Whether it's just hanging out, talking for a couple of hours, they can take them to grocery shop, just get them out and about, whatever they want to do. Make sure that they're okay.
Right. It's that check-in, right?
It's that-
You must have gotten some
Stay in
pretty
touch.
good feedback from whatever the people who are receiving this telling you.
They love their caregivers. They love what's going on. They love to have that person just to come in and say, hey, we're a friend and we're here. Also from the family members. It's nice because instead of them being the caregiver all the time and, hey, do you need groceries today? What's going on? How are you feeling? They have that caregiver there to come in and say, I got this for you. You guys just sit and hang out when everything else is taken care of.
Yeah. Well, and let's talk about technology too, because I think a lot of us curse it and things like that, but it can really serve as a good solution sometimes to this issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For a lot of our caregivers, they are not tech savvy, so our caregivers are always willing to help them so that they're able to FaceTime their loved ones, maybe get online and maybe play some games such as Scrabble, things of that nature. So it's very helpful.
That's a blood sport in my home. I'll tell you what, they got that dictionary right there, you know. So I understand. I wouldn't mind playing a good game of Scrabble.
Right.
I got a vocab. So how can people get involved? Say someone here, maybe that's not their personal situation, but they believe in the cause and what you guys are doing. You mentioned volunteering. Are there ways we can help?
Absolutely. You can always volunteer at your local community centers, and they have senior centers all over West Michigan that are phenomenal. We're from Right at Home in Kalamazoo. We have Milestone Senior Services in Kalamazoo. We have Area on Aging in Kalamazoo, and they all do phenomenal services where they'll go in and help our seniors. So YMCA also has great classes, and you can kind of go in and help with their classes. And
Wonderful. And so if people want to reach out to you and maybe want to employ your services, how does that work?
so we are nationwide. Right at Home is nationwide, so the best bet would to be go to rightathome.net, and you can kind of put in your area code, zip code, and it'll connect you to your closest Right at Home.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm sure there's one near you. Of course, right here in Kalamazoo, you've got Right at Home. And of course, you can go to their website right now, rightathome.net/Kalamazoo. If you want to get right to the local, you can find them right there on 2990 Business 1 Drive, or pick up the phone if you have any questions and you want to talk to somebody. You know, people like talking to other people. 269-762-6110 for more.